backpedaling because you know this shit is a string of shit like this going on in our country, and another black man murdered by the police. And you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And I know I got people listening to this, and I might have a police officer that's listening to this. You know what I mean? And I always want to hear the opinion of the other side, and with no fault, because I know you, even as a police officer, even with your training, you know there was something wrong done here. You can see there was wrong doing here. I love to hear you weigh in and you tell me what was done at this point of them running up. Was it handled correctly? Was the Tamir Rice situation handled correctly? You know what I'm saying? And if it was, and by your laws and by your training, we need a whole lot of reform done. We need a lot of reform done, because it's a damn issue, a serious issue. I understand you feel like you ain't going home for the evening because it's you versus that criminal. All of y'all have pointed that fact out. Every time you interview a policeman, anytime you talk to your policeman friends or your old police classmates, they talk about how, they're fearing for their life and you don't know how it is. Damn, I'm looking at that situation there. There was no damn fear. When y'all ran up on that dude, there wasn't no fear. This dude here was clearly subdued, taken down, tackled on the ground, your knee in his freaking chest, and you shot him at point blank range. That was murder. That's what it's called, murder. Clearly, that's all it is. Let me see what man that ninja said. If black people were half as violent as America would have you think we are, there would be no white people left. Really, ninja, that for real. Because they make it look like we the worst people in the world. We have no civilization. We out to eradicate the race, eradicate the other races, and pretty much just turn on BET and dance and make it rain and every damn thing else. So it doesn't help. I know it doesn't help for our media portrayal, but that's just badass media portrayal, badass record labels, badass whatever that's putting that bullshit out, because there's always the other side. There's always another side to every story. There's always another set of positive that can outweigh the negative that you want to portray. So all of this stuff adds up. All of the negative media portrayals, all of the people that you're showing on the news, all of these stories that you hear frequently about our athletes and our entertainers and our rappers and all that stuff is a media spin on the story. You can actually, if you listen to some of our podcasts, especially my man Ninja, Jungle, my man Chief, you listen to some of these podcasts, you know what I'm saying, they ain't necessarily buying the bullshit that you're feeding them, the bullshit that's coming through your ESPNs and stuff. They actually make you think. They make you listen to the other side of the story. They pull out a realization that, okay, let's really think about this. Let's really let's weigh the situation. Let's weigh this side versus that side. And you know what I'm saying? And that's needed. That's very much needed, because there's so much negative portrayal out here, so much negativity being fed to us and about us. And it's sickening. It's feeding. I'm sure it's part of the rationalization and the feeding of several white folks, including these cops, and when their thought process of when they see a man with wearing certain things, wearing a certain hairstyle, wearing certain clothes, wearing his pants low, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? It's a portrayal. It's stereotypical. This dude could have been a college student, and you just run up and you took the man's life. You know what I'm saying? Ridiculous. Let me see what else Ninja said. And the police will not take responsibility for the horrible acts of these officers and the violent culture created within their police department against black people. Dollars and Cents says, I'm sick of them promoting a black captain or lieutenant and marching his ass out front to try to cover up and keep the black people calm. That's true. You saw that was it Florida? I can't remember. No, that was it one in Baltimore? What was that? The one in Ohio, Cleveland. Grego said, years ago, I tried out for a local PD, police department, and there is a stress test that you have to pass. With that being said, none of these unjust killings should go unpunished. And then Ninja replied to Dollars and Cents and said, that's an old trick, Dollars, and unfortunately, it still works. And he's talking about the black captain being put out front. And then my brother Rasan said, black captain equals trail boss. I mean, really. And of course, like I said, there may be black officers who are listening. And a lot of times these guys are afraid to really voice their opinion because they have a situation today that they're in. They have their job, they have their coworkers, they have their captain, they have their way of living and their eating. So you'll see social media posts with, anonymously, or you'll have, I don't know, I can't remember this dude. It was a dude that was a cop, and he had some things that he voiced his opinion on. I don't know what police department he worked for, but he went in and said his pieces. But it wasn't a whole lot of them that actually said that. So when it comes to these black policemen, they're not outspoken about these things. They see these issues. They see with their own eyes the unjust behavior. They see the irrational behavior of their counterparts, especially the white counterparts. And not to say that the black officers are off the hook, because some of them are caught up in some of these situations too. For instance, that the Freddie Gray situation, I know there was some black officers involved in them on that. But I'm saying you're not off the hook. What the problem here is the sensitivity training and being able to diffuse the situation correctly. I believe every officer in this country, from top down, from federal level all the way down to the local city levels, need to be retrained, retooled. I mean, plainly, you know what I'm saying? It's a clear issue that we have these problems occurring, and nobody's doing nothing about it. Let's see, I got anything else here out of the tank? 'Cause I'm blowing my mind here, man. It's so much, man. It's so much. I mean, we're tired of being sick and tired. We're tired of being sick and tired. And at some point in time, you know what? I saw this video. That's the one thing I'm going to say before I get out of here. There was a video that showed a difference. All right. There was a white guy, big bald-headed dude. The police ran up on him. He was slapping them and everything. You know what I'm saying? He was actually fighting the police, slapping them. I think he might have been kicking them or whatever it was. This man left with his life. He was subdued, thrown on the ground, and was arrested. He was not killed. He was not shot. He was not killed. I don't even know if he was tased. I can't even remember that. However, this man walked away with his life. There's so many other instances, so many situations where the same thing occurs. You know what I'm saying? The Sandra Bland situation was ridiculous. We should never forget that. That was so ridiculous. The Sandra Bland situation is that you're treating our black females that way. You know what I mean? The way that you drag her in that manner. You know what I'm saying? She might have mouthed off. She might have had some attitude in her voice, but it was not necessary to be treated that way. The situation when you had the teenagers out in Texas at a pool party and they outside and you apprehend them and you got your knee in the back of that 13-year-old girl. I'm sorry, I'd be still in jail right now because I'd be whipping that policeman's ass. I'd probably be dead because I'm a bigger guy, big black guy, and you just had your knee in my 13-year-old daughter's back. I mean, seriously. I mean, we have to We have to realize that it's out of control out here. And nobody else has to have the conversations with their kids except for us black folks about what to do and how to deal with a situation if you're ever pulled over. We had to actually have that conversation with our kids. I got a 13-year-old son. I got a 13-year-old daughter, a 15-year-old son, and a 20-year-old son. I didn't have the situation. I didn't have a conversation with my daughter, not yet. The 15-year-old son and the 20-year-old son, I had the conversation like, yo, if you ever get pulled over, make sure you first record it. Turn on your phones and record the situation. And my son did get pulled over for speeding ticket about 3 weeks ago or whatever it was, improper lane change, whatever it was. He got pulled over, and my other son who was in the car immediately went to recording it because they know. And that was ridiculous that we have to do that. You know what I'm saying? That we had to record for our own safety because it's our word against yours. That you're going to run and say he was armed and he ain't got no damn gun. You know what I'm saying? Something crazy like that. To say that he was armed or say that he was resisting arrest, whatever. We have to take our own accountability and record and make sure that our story is being told. You know what I'm saying? You can see the spin of this bullshit. To see the spinning of this media story of these cops running up on this dude, throwing him on the ground, kneeing him in his chest, and then shooting him at point blank range. I mean, the ludicrousy of that. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what Ninja said here. The police department should have been burned down after they tried to tell us Sandra Bland committed suicide. Something has to be done, and it's not talking. And if you want to go biblical, then think an eye for an eye. That is correct. Dollars and Cents says the captain in Alton's situation was black as well. Are you serious? Another one of these black captains, huh? That you're gonna put in the forefront to try to calm us down. You probably found that dude and said, "Hey man, we need you to talk, man. Hey, but I'm not even a level of authority. I'm not an official. Well, you are today, man. We're promoting you. We need you to come up here and be the face." I mean, really, that's how it goes down. Hey, welcome 334 Bama boy to the chat room. Yeah, man. You get a chance, 334, because I'm getting close to signing off. Be sure to replay this one here. It's a powerful one here. And it's basically a waking up, man. Wake your ass up. That's basically what I'm saying on this. Wake up. Realize what's going on around you. See the war that's being built. See the lines that are being drawn. See, just go look at your Facebook friends, especially the Facebook friends that you went to school with. They ain't, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote colonizers. I'll put it out that way. Go look at it. See what they talking about. They don't understand. It's hard. I never see them. I never see the colonizers defend situations like this. They think we tripping. Here they go with that race again. Here they go again. He was resisting the race. Look, he was pulling out a gun. Oh, he was a thug. The battle lines are being drawn, man. It's absolutely crazy. The diversion of the opinions when it comes to these situations. When you go to any subject, any topic on any page, if you go to the CNN page about this story right now, go to the comments. It's the most racial hatred that you will ever see. If you go to Facebook and you look at certain public officials or anybody that's actually tweeting or sharing this post, and you go into the comments, and there it is again. And it's on AJC.com, which is Atlanta Journal-Constitution. It's on the New York Times. It's on the Washington Post. It's on the everything, man. Any of these news feeds that have this story, if you go into the comment section, you will see the division of the races, the division of the colors, and they've tried it, and they don't understand that we keep seeing another black man shot, another black man laying on the ground, another black man dead who didn't go home to his family, and it could have been done another way, but it wasn't. Let me see. Dollar said, I tried for the Cleveland police, and they gave extra credit for people living in Cleveland, people with military, and none for black people with degrees. It's silly as hell. Ninja said, exactly, Kesey. White kids don't have to hear you know they looking to do something to you anyway. So make sure you don't say anything. That's a burden they don't have to grow up with. Pound white privilege. That is correct. We have to have that conversation with our kids.